Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there, not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Barak Atah. Welcome again to the Crystal Jones. It's the show that's all about life's balance. I greet you in the name of Ahaya, Bahashem, Yeshaya. Let me show you how you can tune into the show. Every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on BronxNet.org, channel 951 and 2137 on the Inspire channel. Also, you can always check me out on my YouTube channel. Okay, like, share my videos, the Crystal Jones TV show. Also, you can check me out Facebook, okay, Crystal Jones Pictures and Videos. Also, check me out on Instagram with the inspirational quotes I have from the Bible and HebrewConnect.tv. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in again. I'm your talk show host, Crystal Jones, and you know this show is all about life's balance. All right, so today we're going to start off, as we always do, with the Word of God, and we're going to start with 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter and the 3rd verse. Now, I'm doing a series on the Hebrew and Israelite women in the Bible and today. All right, so this is a scripture that's going to give you God's divine order for how things go. All right. Now, 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter and the 3rd verse says, "But I would have you to know the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God." So there is a hierarchy in God's kingdom. Okay. Because we're kingdom people and God's kingdom is in us. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What's the king? Who's the kingdom? The kingdom is us. We're kingdom people. All right. So there's a hierarchy with that. First is God, then there's Christ, then there's the man, and there's the woman, right? Because remember, Christ came from God. He's the Son of God. All right. So God will be first, then there's Christ. Then remember, man was made in creation. All right. We came out of man, the women. We're here to assist the man for the plan that God has for mankind. So we play a very important role as well. We're not just some people on the side, you know. We're very important to God and to his plan. All right. So what I'm doing is going through a series of things. What we're gonna do, we're gonna come right back to that, and I'm going to let you know what we're gonna be talking about. But it's about women in the Bible and today. So we'll be right back after this.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Okay, so just, going over it again is that we have to get back into God's divine order. And of course, we get a lot of flack for how we've fallen off course, even though everyone has. But we, as Hebrew Israelite women, we're in the limelight. Like, people blame us for everything that's going wrong, because let's be real. This is not how a lot of things that go on in our communities should not go on. Okay. So we have to get back into God's divine order. God is the head. After him is Christ. After that is the man. And after that is us. Okay. We set the tone in the household. All right. The man in the way things were, he was the provider. But because the world has gotten so out of course, it's just totally ridiculous with how things have spiraled out of control. All right. And what the world sees is the women that they don't know any better. A lot of women don't know any better because they come from households that are a total wreck. So I can't even blame them, but there's always going to be somebody who's at the bottom who they want to blame for everything that's falling apart today. So, sisters, we got to make sure we're doing our part. Not saying that you're not doing anything at all, but we may need to rethink the way we're doing things. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about that a little later. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to today's news. Now, in the news, I'm seeing some disturbing things. I'm an advocate for the children. I just hate to see the nonsense that goes on concerning them, especially in these schools. All right. I read an article about a teacher had the nerve again to cut a child's hair. Like, who's telling you to do this? Like, where are you getting your orders from that it's okay for you to take someone's child and cut their hair because you feel some kind of way? Now, it's totally ridiculous and it needs to stop. Okay, you're there to teach a lesson. All right. And if you can't do that, I admonish you, please quit. Quit. If you can't do your job, which basically, from what I understand, is to teach them their ABCs, their 1, 2, 3s, make sure they can read, count, that type of thing. Very, very basic things. Those other things leave to the parents. Those are not your children. They belong to the parents. But it seems like in this day and time, the powers that be seem to think that the children are theirs. So I'm saying to you all too that are parents, stop letting this stuff happen to your kids. Stop letting your kids get traumatized. If this system is too much and they don't want to do right by your children, then you're going to have to make sure that your children learn the basics. You know what I'm saying? They don't necessarily have to go to the school. As long as you make sure your children know the basics of what they need to get through life, and they pass those yearly tests or whatever, which probably is not, I could just imagine what those tests are like, because so much is just ridiculously out of control. But it's up to you to make sure you protect your children. God gave those kids to you, not the government, not the school, nobody else. Those are your children. Stand up for your children. Stop letting them be traumatized by nut jobs that just want to play like they're God or somebody, want to cut your kid's hair or have your kid arrested and, all this kind of foolery. All right. So parents, please step up to the plate. Pray and ask the Lord for direction, because it is really getting worse. All right. Now, the next thing that I would like to talk about is in transportation. Now, I know there are a lot of people that may be out of work or they don't have the money or whatever. So they do come through the subway system and all that. And there's so many of them, y'all. I don't see where it makes sense for you as a worker to risk your life because one person decided they don't want to pay or whatever. I'm not encouraging that you encourage the behavior, but it's not worth you being killed. Who's going to take care of your kids when you get killed because one person decided they wanted to get on the bus free, or they wanted to jump the turnstile or run through the gate. Like, what? You know what I'm saying, y'all? Use common sense. All right. You don't want to be challenging these people, because a lot of them are dealing with mental issues and all kind of stuff. Because think about it, when you're homeless like that, you're out on the street and whatnot. Imagine what it must take in your mind to adjust and deal with that, when you're seeing that at the same time, while you're homeless, you're citizens of this country, and there are people coming in from countries that have never even been here before, but they're getting the benefits and things that you should be getting, that a person that's homeless. So I say to those who are workers that deal with these people, you better use some godly judgment, because it's not worth losing your life. It's not. And they're allowing people to come from thousands of miles away and not taking care of the people that are already here, that have been here, that have gotten their citizenship and everything like that. So yeah, this Esau kingdom is going down, because like I said, if they should have been in charge, this world would be a utopia, and it's not. It's a hot mess. All right. And it seems to be getting worse. So I'm going to come right back after this break and talk to you some more. All right. See you in a bit.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
All right. So we're going to go into our health and wellness segment. Okay. This is something that people always think about, at the beginning of each year. Consider going back to the gym. All right. It's time for us to get healthy again. We definitely need to work on our bodies, the things that we eat. I myself have gone back to, whenever I'm snacking, I just snack on fruits and vegetables, for real, because all this other stuff, the things that they put in these foods, a lot of time those things are not even good for us. So, think about trying to focus on other things whenever, like if you're at work, like I'll eat like tangerines, cherries. What's the other thing I have? Tangerines, cherries, cantaloupe. Oh, the black grapes are delicious. Those black grapes. Anything. And then some weeks, maybe if you feel like eating celery sticks, mixed with spinach, you can do that. Different things. Make up different things for yourself, so that each time while you're working or whatever during the course of the day, you can snack on something healthy. And go back to the gym. Find out what you like. For me, I like swimming, right? So go to a gym that way you can go swimming. Also, they have, some of these gyms have some wonderful exercise equipment and whatnot. Go there. Some of them also have where you can get a massage, all of those kind of things, good for the body. And losing weight, be realistic with yourself. It's tell yourself, you know what, if I could lose 2 pounds a month, all right, that's a start. Because if you do that, you figure by the end of the year, you'll have taken off quite a few pounds. But you know what I'm saying? Be realistic with yourself. Some weeks you might fall off, but at least 2 pounds for the month. The month, that's a good thing. Okay. So start setting goals for yourself. All right. And along with that, your business tip, do indoor events where you're discussing joining a gym, which gym is good for you. Also, get your family and your friends involved, your coworkers. Sometimes your coworkers may be like, hey, I found this gym down the street, whatever, blah, 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 and they got a sale on it. That could be kind of your gym buddy, so to speak. I mean, y'all may not go all at the same time, but you're encouraging each other. Yeah, let's join this gym. Let's do this. They got a class on this and that. They got a water class where you run around the pool. They got this, they got that, that camaraderie. Encourage each other. All right. So sometimes, that's a good business thing to do, is encourage each other. You have businesses, but you also need to keep your health up in order to be able to continue running your business. Right. So, talk with family and friends about what kind of gym you want to go to, and, the different goals that you want to reach and things like that. So that's good for business too. All right. So we're down to our credo. Shema Yasharala. Ahaya Alahaya Nawa Ahaya Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God. The Lord our God, he is one. In Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, the 4th verse. The lesson of the day is Israelite women in the Bible. And today you can follow me in Sacred Text, www.sacred-text.com. All right. So again, we're going over 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter and the 3rd verse. And it says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So what I'm going to explain to you is something that we probably never learned as children. In your household, the husband is supposed to be the priest of the house. He's the covering. He answers to Christ, and Christ answers to God. All right. So there's a vision and a view that the Lord has for that man, for the household, the entire household. When it comes to everything, when it comes to the businesses that should be flowing through and in and out your house, you are the glue that holds things together as the woman. You know those children because you spend the most time with them, right? You know what child is good at this, what child is good at that. Their understanding levels and things like that. And based on the vision that's set for your home, all right, then you should be able to help your husband to understand which child does what, because that's going to bring a blessing to your house. If your child is good at law, maybe your child needs to be a lawyer. If your child is good at banking, maybe he needs to be the financier of the household. You know what I'm saying? Your household is supposed to be covered like that. Okay. But we got to even get to that point, because since we were fooled about who we really are, that definitely caused a problem within the setup of the Israelite families, right? Now, the breakdown, of course, of the family, right? Once we got over here to America, right, which was a stolen land. It wasn't their land, but it was taken over by people who felt that they had a right to, right? So now here we are coming from a whole different place, and they just black it out and say we're all Africans, but we're not. Africa is where we fled to when we were thrown out of Israel, okay, by Vespasian and Titus at the last Roman and Jewish war. Okay, our homeland is Jerusalem. All right. So, the 12 tribes. And I'm going to continue to mention it because there could be somebody on here who does not know the tribes. All right. Judah is basically the Negroes, the people they call the black people or whatever. Right. This is why You have Africans that will say, oh no, we're not you, or oh no, you're not us, you're not a part of us. True, because we're not African, we're Israelites. We're Hebrew by blood, and we're Israelites by nationality. That's our nationality, okay? So we fled into Africa when we were thrown out of our homeland, okay? And we did live amongst them, and some of our people tied in with them. Just like here in America, we have some so-called black people that, you know, maybe tied in with European people. But that's not how we normally would do, because each nation is supposed to continue as a nation of people. But when we got here, that was a way of wiping out our nation, is raping our women, you know, doing all kind of things to break up the family dynamic of our people. Okay, so through that, of course, the women, yes, we became bitter. Then they brought in the welfare system and all of this kind of stuff, everything to break down the dynamic of the Israelite people. Okay, the tribe of Reuben, you have a lot of people from Australia of color. They're from the tribe of Reuben. Okay, Gad, North American and Seminole, Indian, and there are other Indian tribes too. But Gad was the first tribe that came here. They were here way before Christopher Columbus or any of those people that they claim were here in what they deemed as their new world. All right. But the tribe of Gad was here hundreds of years before they even got here, because the tribe of Gad used to do trade and stuff like that with the African people. But the tribe of Gad are also Israelites. Okay, Israelites come from Jacob. Jacob was our patriarch. Okay, you had Abraham, Isaac, who was Abraham's son, and Jacob, who was Isaac's son. Through Jacob are the 12 tribes of Israel. So we're Israelites. That's where the contention comes in between us and people who will, you know, say that they are also of Jewish descent, but they come from Esau. Esau are the Edomite group of people. They may be related to us as far as cousins, but they don't fall under the 12 tribes. Okay, and this is the reason why when they ask, well, who are the 12 tribes? People can't answer because they don't know, because they're not bloodline from the 12 tribes. And you have to know who the 12 tribes are, so you know who the people in the Bible are and how we're supposed to continue, okay, up until the time that Christ returns. Okay, so in the tribe of Asher, you have the people of color who are Colombian, Brazilian, Venezuelan, you know, in that area. All right, the tribe of Naphtali, you have the Isles of Hawaii, the Filipinos, the Vietnamese people of color. They are from the tribe of Naphtali. Manasseh are the Cubans. Simeon is the Dominicans, the Dominican Republic. They are the tribe of Simeon. Okay, Levi is the Haitians. Those are the Haitians. That's probably why they didn't want the Haitians to come here. If you notice, when they let all these other people come across the border, but not those Haitians. You know why? Because the Haitians were our priests when we were in Israel. They were our priests. Baby, when they get together, God's power moves. They are the priests of the people, of our people, of the 12 tribes. Okay, they were the original ones. Not saying that there are no other priests from any other tribes, but they were the original Hebrew Israelite, priests. Okay, the tribe of Issachar are the Mexicans. All right, Zebulun is Panama, Costa Rica, that area. Those people of color, they're from the tribe of Zebulun. All right, the tribe of Ephraim is the people of color that are Puerto Rican. All right, and then the tribe of Benjamin, of course, is the West Indians. All right, so we are the 12 tribes. We're the only people that fit those curses in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. All right, so what I'm trying to get across to our women is that we have to get back in place so that before we go into, because as you can see, things are really coming to an end. Okay. The way they started this particular named country, okay, because the Gadites were here first, the Indian tribes, but after them, the Europeans took over. And this, if you notice, this whole system is dismantled now. It's being dismantled, and it's been dismantled. All right. This is why you hear them talking about the currency. They're going to take away the dollar. They don't want any cash or anything. These people are focused on AI technology. Okay. And what is AI technology going to do? It's going to replace people. Right? Why do you think you see the robots, the robot dogs, the robot this, the robot that, the robot workers that work at McDonald's and different places like that? Okay, this is what was told of us in the end times. This is how it would be before Christ returns, because you have people that are deceived, and they don't realize that this whole war that they got going on between the blacks, the whites, the this ones, the that ones, it doesn't matter really what color you are. It's all about demonic rule. Okay, it's all about the fact that Satan fell from heaven. Okay, and since that time, he's been trying to get back there to the throne. He thinks he's going to take over as God. So I read to you last week out of the book of Enoch, the things that we were taught from the fallen angels. The fallen angels mixed with women, and they weren't supposed to. So they taught weaponry, how to make, weapons, steel, all these different things. They taught us how to do the makeup, all different kind of things that I read to you. So go back and listen to that video so you can understand where I'm coming from with all of that. But we're seeing the last stage of things play out in real time. Okay, so Black women, as they call us here in America, we have to get back in our place, because we have to help our men to make it through this next phase. Because have you ever thought about the fact that, okay, we're supposed to have the most as far as weaponry, as far as army and all of that. Why do we have all these gangs? Why? That it just doesn't make sense. It should not be, right? So as they dismantle everything, war is eventually going to break out here on the street, civil war, because they're going to get everybody fighting against each other. Do you understand that anytime they don't want to help the people that have been born here or came here and became citizens, and all of a sudden they're letting all these people across the border, all of these people, thousands of them, till New York can't even hold no more. New York's filled up about 60 hotels, from what I understand, with these people coming from different countries. Okay, and we don't know who these people are. They saying that they check them, but are you serious? Do you really think they have checked? I mean, it's been thousands of people coming here for the past 2 years or more. All right, because who knows what we don't know about. Okay, and they've been putting them up in nice places and things, but yet when you go past Central Park and different places, and I'm talking Black and white people, I see sleeping on the benches. All right, where's their cut? Why aren't they being helped? Okay, so anytime you do that against your own people, you're going to eventually dismantle the place that you're in. And they've already dismantled it. If I'm not mistaken, I think Puerto Rico is joining up with some other country or something like that, right? and you're going to hear of more states backing out of the union. Okay, so the country is going to be eventually split in 2 or 3, all right, with different countries from Europe probably being over it. So America as we know it is gone. It's gone. And it's going to be more and more like that. The more that they do these shutdowns and all of that kind of stuff, and the more that they bring these, they want to bring these communities where you can't go more than 2 miles from your house. If you do anything that you try to use your bank card for, they're not going to accept it because you went 2 miles out of the radius of what they want you to do. Okay, this is definitely setting up for what they call the mark of the beast system. Okay, because they really believe in that AI technology, the chip, all of that kind of crazy stuff. Okay, so while we have time, we're gonna have to get back into the order that God has us to. Now, I'm not saying that we can't work or anything like that, but we're going to have to learn to get along with our men, get married, have children. That's the order. God brings you and the man together, then you get married, then you have children. But the way that they made things come, the way that they help to push things out of order, of course, is to create ghettos and different places where, our women would be accepting food stamps and things like that with the agreement that the man could not live in the home. Okay, this was because why? Our men couldn't find work because they didn't want to hire people of color. Okay, and whenever we set up places of our own, they would burn them down, knock them down. Central Park is an example of that. Central Park was once run and lived on by people of color. All right, a lot of people who had been off of the slave plantation or a generation or so after slavery, that we had houses there, we had churches, everything, even on Wall Street, because Wall Street is an area where many of our people were sold. They don't tell you that. We were sold right there on Wall Street. They bargained us off, sold our children and everything. And one of those churches down there's like a wall where there are bodies buried under there. All over America, there are like 20 to 30 different areas in America where they have tried to build things on top of our ancestors' bodies. Okay, because as much as they want you to think we're lazy and we haven't done anything, our ancestors, once they came out of slavery, they built communities, but them communities got burnt down because the supremacists did not want to see us prosper and move forward. They didn't like it that we had our own businesses. Tulsa, Oklahoma wasn't the only place. That's the most that they talk about. But Tulsa is an example of that. Okay? Because they know and knew all along who we were. They know we not just some people from Africa. No. A lot of people in Africa, at the time that we were being sold as slaves from Africa, the people that got on those boats were not really, most of them weren't African people. Most of them were our people from the 12 tribes. Okay, the African people, they weren't really sold into slavery, y'all. This was just so that we could think that we were African and that we wouldn't go back to serving the true and the living God. Okay, so when we got over here, what they did was a particular church, I think you know who I'm talking about, that seems to run all of the other churches, the other denominations, the Big C, the Big Catholic Church. They change things, okay, because everything is run through them. That's what America is a knockoff of that place. Okay, And you can even read about it where some of their um, their leaders have told the truth about how they are for that pedophile and all of that kind of stuff. And anybody that wasn't for it, they moved them out of the way. Okay. So we see that there's so much confusion. And the reason why, people say, oh, the mad black woman and all of that. But I understand that being angry because of what we've been through. Okay. Being raped, having our children taken from us. And the same thing goes on today. If they even think that you're doing anything wrong, they'll call the child services and take your kids from you, even when you're trying. Even when you try to get a job. I see you out there. I see y'all hustling, trying to, but we got to get together and pray, because these are some strong, just devilish demons that don't want us to make it. They want to wipe us out. So the next wars that will happen, okay, a lot of our men are going to die. Okay, a lot of our men are going to die. All right. And we're going to have to band together. So we need to start learning to get together now. Now. We really need to get together now, because we are going to have to, we can't do it alone. We got to learn about who we are, because they fooled us through some of the Christian teachings, which we were the first Christians, of course, but some of the Christian teachings where they come from are not true. All right. So first of all, let's talk about who they call Jesus. Put up a picture. Okay. The person that you see there. Okay. His name is not Jesus. Okay. But this is what they wanted us. This is who they wanted us to think that this person was. All right. Bear with me a minute. I'm trying to find my the false teachings of Cesare Borgia. That's who this man is. His name is Cesare Borgia. Okay. He was an Italian ex-cardinal. Okay. And what they did was they felt that his face, and this is a Jesuit type of teaching, Cesare Borgia, that's his name. They felt that when we came over here to the so-called New World, they felt that his face would be the face of Christ. Okay. And because what they did was, in our land, they started switching out people from pretty much the time of Herod, a little bit before Herod, when Christ was born. Okay, that would be the beginning of what you would call the white race of people going into Israel. Prior to that, there were no white people there. Okay, not like that. Okay, and they were not bloodline. So in order to fool us more, being that we're here now in their so-called New World, they would make him a white man. So they decided to use this picture, and we all grew up with that picture, because I sure enough thought he was a white man and all of this kind of stuff. Now, if you approach them with it today, what they're going to tell you is, what difference does it make whether he's white or black? Well, my question to you is, why did you make him white? If it doesn't make a difference, why couldn't he stay the brother that he was? Why couldn't he stay with his dreadlocks or afro, like the Bible describes him, how his hair is wool? Wool is afro. Okay, it's not stringy hair or anything like that. Okay, so if he was a black man, why did you change him to white? Why? And why did you switch out the people like what you're doing now? Because switching out the people now is going to be chaos. So you're going to have our people fighting really against their own people, because a lot of those people you're sending over here, as much as you've lied to them and told them that they're white, they're not white. They're people of color. All right. So this is what's going to be going on, you all. And so many people are asleep. They just think, oh, well, this is a new thing that America's doing. No, just like they switched out the people with that picture that I showed you, they're going to do the same thing here. And what they're going to do is take the jobs and give them to the people who just got here, because they can't fool us anymore. They don't have the black vote anymore like they used to. They don't. You know why? Because we woke up and smelled the coffee and realized, what are we getting out of this? Okay, you have the Japanese that got their reparations. You have the white, people who, the white Jews that get money in Israel every year, billions of dollars, right? And it's sad what happened to them, but it didn't happen on this land. Our thing happened here on this land. Okay, we were enslaved here and never got a dime for it. Okay, so judgment is upon these people. Judgment, as slick as they think they're being, they're not. God's judgment is upon this place. And though they're trying to last minute to hurry up and switch out people and do this and do that and do the other, it's not going to help them. All right. So let's see what type of woman we should be. So let's go into the book of Proverbs. Okay. We're going to start in the book of Proverbs, the 31st chapter. All right. The 31st chapter of Proverbs. This was written to King Lemuel, all right, from his mother. All right. She was giving him instruction about what type of woman he should be looking for, a virtuous woman. This is what we need to become, more virtuous. Not that we're not virtuous at all, but because we've been washed with all of this kind of stuff. I've even had young women of color coming to me and telling me how they live with their boyfriend and they have kids and they're going to see about whether or not they should marry him. No, that's a backward thinking, and that's what they've done to us. All right. No, you should have a courtship with that man, get engaged, get married, and then have children. But if you're already in that situation, of course, now we're going to have to rethink how we move forward so that the generations coming up behind us are not confused. Okay. Now, we're going to go to Proverbs, the 31st chapter, the 10th through the 31st verse. It says, who can find a virtuous woman? Who can find her? Where is she? What is the virtuous woman? Right? For her price is far above rubies. She's a woman that's far above any price. She can't be bought. She's not trying to get a man because he got money, because he's rich. That's not what you do, y'all. And I see some of y'all doing that stuff. Please stop that. Stop it. Money is not going to buy you the love that you need. Money is not going to buy you the faithfulness that you need that man to be faithful to you. Money is definitely not going to buy you a relationship with God. Okay, stop it. That gold digging mindset, that has to go, y'all. It has to go. We cannot be like that. We can't. That's not of God at all. I don't care what you try to tell me, how you try to tell me, what you look like when you say it, how you say it. I don't care. It's not of God. All right. If you get a man that has a job, and he get a man that, he wants to work. Okay. Because you all can put your money together and start your own business. That's what you do. Come together, start your own business. Okay. Even if he may be the grill man at McDonald's. Encourage your man Hey, listen, baby, you working that grill, but you know what? Let's work on you becoming the manager. Come on, let's work on you become. See, because we're his helpmeet. We're his helpmeet. So even if you have a position that's higher than his, doesn't matter. Put your money together and start working on the man. You know from talking to him, spending time with him, if he's a God-fearing man and he want to do right, work with that man. Work with his mind. Make him feel like he's somebody. Okay, because he has enough to worry about just walking down the street, whether or not he's going to be picked up by the police because he's black or because he's a person of color, or somebody accusing him of this, accusing him of that. Okay, so you know, we're gonna have to you know, do things a little different, y'all. We got to start, you know, doing things different. Okay. So it asks us, who can find a virtuous woman, right? For her price is far above ruby. She's not a greedy woman. She ain't trying to, you know, doing it. She not trying to gold dig this man, right? The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her. This man can trust you. He know that you're not going to take the money and spend it on clothes that, you know, for money y'all don't even have. You know what, y'all? We like to look nice, and that's fine. But you have to know where to go to get things. Sometimes you can get things for very, very cheap, and it look good on you. It look good on you. You ain't got to spend $300 on a pocketbook, or you know what I'm saying? $300 on a pair of sneakers. No, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. That's not wise. That's foolish. It's very foolish that you're spending all this money on things that really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Not in that sense. You could look good. You could get a scarf, sister, and put stuff on it, put your little rhinestones and stuff on it yourself. And you know what I'm saying? And you be looking just as good. Okay. You don't have to spend all that kind of money on the things that you want to look nice. There are plenty of stores you could go to and just get something nice, you know, when you can afford it. Some weeks you might not be able to pick up nothing, right? So the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that she shall have no need of spoil, right? She not wasting. She not wasting. He trusts her with the money, because normally you know, you have your husband, he come home, he bring his money, and he give it to you, and you put it together. Make sure that y'all eat. Make sure you got money for the groceries. You know, make sure you got money to pay your rent. Okay, make sure you able to put some on the side. Maybe y'all could get a house, you know, and rent out a portion of the house, so that your money is coming back to you. You making money, because if your man is good with his hands and whatnot, he probably can be the plumber and all of that kind of stuff. You know, there's classes you could take at some of these local places, schools and stores and stuff. Sometimes, you know, the different stores that have plumbing classes and stuff, and he probably could do that, and y'all could, you know, rent out a portion of the house to another family or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. That's a virtuous woman. You thinking, you know, you come with the ideas to help make your household. All right, so we got to get out of this stinking thinking. Okay, we really do. All right. So the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. If y'all have problems, stop going on Snapchat and you know what I'm saying? Stop going on these platforms and telling people your business. Don't do him evil like that. If y'all having problems, there are people in your community that I'm pretty sure you trust, a pastor, you know, there are counselors. Even if you have husband and wife best friends that can counsel you all, help you all. Sometimes older couples can counsel you because they're not going to spread your business all over America. All right. They'll sit down and tell you their experiences. That'll help you. People you can trust, people that love y'all, that's not going to be trying to, tell you something crazy. Okay. Because to say that marriage, you both have to be working at it. Okay. In a marriage, I could imagine you probably do get bored. Sometimes you're doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes it's just a matter of sprucing the marriage up. Maybe y'all need to go away sometime. And that doesn't have to be expensive either. There are plenty of places you can go to, where you all could spend the weekend together and just, communicate and rethink things through with your marriage, because you're going to go through different stages in your marriage. Your children are young, then all of a sudden they're these between age, then all of a sudden they're teenagers, and that's going to change the whole dynamic of the household. But women, we got to get on board with our men. We have to, okay? Because we can't keep coming out talking about, oh, my man got to make $300,000 a year, or I just can't do it. But then you may not ever really be able to get married. You know what I'm saying? It's hard as it is to find a man that is God-fearing, that loves God, that wants to do right. It's hard enough. I'm telling you, it really is. So now you want to put more pressure on the brother? Yeah, well, what is the likelihood that men of color are going to be making that kind of money? The ones that do, I'm pretty sure they probably got 7 women trying to get at them, right? And here you got a nice guy, and all you got to do is, work with the man. Work with him. You know what I'm saying? And by talking to him, his personality and stuff like that, if he's workable. If he ain't workable, then no. But you know what I'm saying? We got to be realistic, and we got to realize all of this stuff that was done to our people was done to tear our nation of people down. And we got to build it back up before Christ comes. Okay? Because you don't want him to catch us sleep, acting like we didn't know nothing. Oh, I didn't know Christ. I didn't know. Because when Christ comes back, the teachings of these people of the rapture and all of that kind of stuff, as you see, it hasn't come, and it's not going to come during this tribulation period. It's not. Okay? That was made up by a false teaching to get us to think, oh, well, we don't have to worry about nothing. Okay? And you can look it up yourself. Look up under the Jesuit teaching what they was teaching about the rapture. There was no such thing as in the Bible as that. There is a thing where it tells you about the catching away of the saints and stuff like that. But remember, the Bible is a mystery. It's prophecies that are being revealed. But when Christ returns to the earth, when you read it in the Apocryphal book, he's coming back with thousands of saints. He's going to have to fight against all this AI and Nephilim and all of this technology. When he first comes back, he's going to have to wipe this crap out. So y'all better be ready. Get away. Wake up. Wake up. All right. We are living in those last days and times. Okay. So this is what I'm going to be talking about until, the Lord tells me, okay, that's enough for now of it. But women of color, we have to get together. We have to get out of this drunken stupor that we're in. I'm singing, I don't need no man. As crazy as this world is getting, we're going to need our men to protect us. We really are, because we're just seeing the beginning of this craziness that's going on. So we're going to have to get with our men. You younger women, I know y'all want to go to college and all of that, and that's good. Continue to go to school. I ain't trying to stop you. But I'm trying to get you to face reality. Okay? You know, some of you that are in college, you may meet men that do make the type of salary that you want, but that doesn't guarantee you a good marriage. It really does not. If you're a God-fearing woman, you love the Lord and all of that, you want a God-fearing man. Because if you get one that's not, hello, what's he going to be doing? You get one that doesn't love the Lord, you'll be going, to the services and learning the lessons and all of that. And he'll be home doing something totally different, and possibly, the other things that come with that. And you don't want a part of that. You have a God-fearing man, y'all will do things together. Y'all will go to the churches, you go to the church together. You'll learn the lessons together. All right. So, my thing is now, like I said, getting our women to understand we have to get out of not being the original Israelite women that we're supposed to be. Okay. So, I'm going to be doing more on this. I'm going to, come back with different parts to it. But in your spare time, read 1 Corinthians 11:3 and Proverbs, the 31st chapter, that whole chapter. All right. So God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. This is Crystal Jones signing off. Kwam Yasharala. Kwam, rise up, y'all. Come on, rise up. Awaken our people. Okay. They need to be awakened. Watch me on YouTube. Watch me on all my social media platforms. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. And you always stay balanced. Kwam Yasharala. Kwam.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Not anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there. Not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.